This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started. Hello and welcome once again to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Essa. With me, as always, is the man behind the curtain.
Phil me and Perich.
That's the one. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, or pay all the attention to him. Anyway, Philip. So because we teased it in
Capes and Lunatics.
And Lunatics was like, so here's my thing. Okay, so you read Immortal Hulk and you read Avengers. This is Avengers 4 or Avengers 5?
What, this week's issue?
Yeah,
number 9, buddy.
It's number 9. Oh goodness, it's all a blur. Anyway.
So just for the audience, Immortal Hulk number 7 and Avengers number 9.
Yeah. So there's a lot of parallels throughout this. Okay. Not the least of which is Ronnie Reyes just getting wharfed left and right. I'm the immortal spirit of vengeance. Stop scratching up my car. Although he does actually come out of it at the end, and I love when he runs over Namor. That's just that's just such a underwater. No one can hear your engine roar. It's crazy, but no. So, but what was striking me about this? Okay, so remember, Avengers 3 or Avengers 4, that's where I was when the Hulk leaves the Avengers and he teams up with Namor.
Yeah, Hulk 3, Avengers 3. Yeah,
to fight the Hulk, to fight the Avengers, and it was this thing that was striking me, like, oh man, they're really running these parallels. Namor's super evil, Hulk's super evil now, and like proper evil. Like supervillain evil now, like
we'll kill you.
yeah, man, poor Stingray.
Oh, I know.
And not for nothing. That's like the thing that really bugs me in modern comics.
It's like they take these lower tier characters and they just kill them off.
Yeah, just kill them off for no good reason.
That's what I'm just thinking. I'm like, eventually, even if it's years down the road, Stingray is going to be back in some form. I wonder if it's just going to be like a new guy in the suit, though.
That'll be the same guy. He's like, no, I wasn't dead. You really think my suit can't handle a couple of shark bites?
It would just, or have a robot arm. Be like, nah, I just took an arm off.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. And honestly, so first up for that, as a comic book reader for a review, that kind of really, and then it's like, here is my team of supervillains to help me be villainy, because that never works out poorly. The whole Defenders of the Deep thing, it's just ugh. And he's got Atuma's daughter in there, and it's like she betrayed Atuma, so yeah, she's totally not going to betray you for nobility's reasons at the end. Namor, it's just, I don't know. So on that level, it was just a little lame. But one thing that did bug me is Namor's eyes in this. I've noticed they were drawing him with black eyes.
Oh yeah.
And do you think there's something infecting Namor? I think that's what's driving Namor.
Maybe he's possessed by something.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's going to be their mind control excuse later on. And not for nothing, it sounds to me like, oh, Namor, you're a lousy king and you're blaming everyone else for it. Because essentially it was the Atlantean children wandered on to land and were laughed at as they died by humans. First off, I doubt that's actually what happened.
And why aren't your people watching their kids?
Well, no, why aren't you, their king, providing for them? Why aren't you actually doing something to make everyone's life better?
Oh, they had to go to the war with those darn Wakandans.
The Wakandans and then the Squadron Supreme, they were getting their turquoises handed. And not for nothing, let's not forget that he got brought back from the dead, which might be where the
head ripped off. From. Yeah.
Oh, hey, who knows? Maybe that's how Dr. Druid gets back to Earth.
I was going to say, maybe that's when he got infected by something. When he died and came back, maybe something came back with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's lots of crazy evil going around in the universe at that particular time. There was a whole thing that A-Force was fighting that like blew up, and then you saw it like raining down on Earth and infecting people. It was like the opposite of. It was like the male evil version of the like Sky Girl character. You know, that's sort of like the remnants of the Secret Wars world. But the last bits of the Beyonder, we guess. I have no idea.
But I wonder if they're gonna. I wonder if they're gonna turn Namor around, because I think it's in December. Maybe did you see they're doing the whole Defenders thing where, you know, Hulk, Doctor Strange, Namor, and Surfer are getting they're each getting a one shot, and then it's going to be like a group Defenders book. I don't know if it's going to be ongoing or not. It might just be like a one shot thing, but yeah, they each get their own one shot, and then it, I guess, ends the last part's in like a Defenders #1 thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, yes, they're going to put Namor back in the box. You know, they're not going to leave him evil.
Well, I wonder if this is the story where they're going to do it, though. In the Avengers thing, or if they're going to do it in Defenders.
Well, although it makes sense if Namor and the Hulk team up.
Let's
not forget, Doctor Strange is on the Avengers, and so you get them all working together, and maybe Doctor Strange is the one who says, "Oh, I see the demons in both of you. Let me help you get rid of those." Zap, zap, zap.
Well, I'm not sure.
Silver Surfer's like, "Hey, dude."
Yeah, I'm not sure if Doctor Strange is still on the Avengers. I don't know if were they saying
he's
maybe
not on the Avengers? No, but he's an exalt.
Yeah. Because they were saying I think the Strange was there for the first arc, but that's like kind of like a rotating chair or whatever. They can have drop different people.
But he's there, so he can. Basically, he's got an easy in. That's the thing. He's got an easy in. So, and that's what you want with that. So, I would wager, based on that information, hey, we're going to get that Hulk Namor team up again. They're going to join forces to fight the Avengers. Because Rick Jones likes Captain America best, and then Captain America killed him. It's all about Rick Jones, man. You killed my friend, my only friend.
But I mean, do you think there's? I'm sorry. I was gonna say, do you think there's any link? Because like in this week's Hulk, well, in the last couple Hulks, like, have you seen his face? I don't know if it's just the artist rendition, but doesn't he look more similar to that Hulk from like back in Avengers 3 and stuff? And
yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the things that really struck me about it. That's the thing. As different as the art styles were, I was seeing definite parallels between the art styles we were seeing in Avengers 9 and Hulk 7. I was saying I can see the crossovers and the homages, and I don't know who are writing these guys, but they're definitely guys who have this love of the past. And we've seen that with Immortal Hulk, both with the love of the TV show and classic Hulk ideas. And like I said, the resurgence of the Devil Hulk as a character, which goes all the way back to John Byrne's. The first time John Byrne called me an idiot.
I thought it was Peter David, not John. Oh, did John Byrne call you an idiot too? Okay.
No, Peter David. I can't remember all these people. I'm older. It's like what happened to Lilith. See, that was the first sign. That's when you start.
I was gonna say, when you get to Lilith Hellfire's age, I know.
It's like
gonna kill it.
You wait for little happen to you too. You won't be young and beautiful forever, Phil. Just always remember that.
Or I just won't remember that. Okay.
Anyway, but no, it was not the first time Peter David called me an idiot. It was, I get my favorite writers mixed up, but. And even though Peter David called me an idiot, he's still one of my favorite writers. I'm not going to deny that. I love that guy's writing. Oh, you know? I can separate the art from the artist. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Because that is something, and actually, that was the worst thing about not getting my car done today, is I didn't get to the comic shop, because I really wanted to pick up something today, which was the new issue of Mad Magazine. But we'll talk about that later. No, I really like this idea, and I like the idea from what you've said that may be going that way, that this is going to be the arc that brings the Hulk and
Namor
and Namor back together, and then when Doctor Strange and the Silver Surfer, who are probably going to get together through Infinity War, all get together, then that's going to be your Defenders, and will defend the defenseless. And hey, not for nothing, what is the name of Namor's group?
What? You mean the one from Avengers, or?
No, the one from Avengers. What does he call them?
Oh, I forget. I know he called it out. Over here. Defenders of the Deep, yeah.
The Defenders of the Deep. Yeah, so there you go. And,
does he miss being a defender?
Of course he misses being a Defender. I mean, obviously whatever's infecting him is, whatever's slowly driving him mad is pulling him towards that. Maybe that is the thing. Maybe as he's fighting against it, his brain says you must reform the Defenders, and he forms the Defenders of the Deep and stocks it with supervillains because that always works.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, Orca has had a heel turn in the past.
True.
But I think it's really telling that he's got at least 2, if not more, classic Namor villains on his team. Because Tiger Shark is a Namor villain.
Mm-hmm.
Orca is a Namor villain. These are both villains who, have been challenging Namor for years, and yet now he's saying, well, you're going to follow me because we're going to go kill, I don't know, something. That's the thing. The whole thing of Atlantis attacking the surface world is it doesn't make a lot of sense because they can't live on the surface world. And we can't live in the oceans. It's like we travel on the surface of the oceans. But if you really want to work out some kind of, deal on that, but the fact of the matter is Namor doesn't, Namor says, I rule 3/5 of the world. It's like, no, you have 10 guys. You don't rule anything. That's why your people are starving. Maybe if you made more treaties and less war, your people wouldn't be starving so much.
True. I mean,
anything about that one, Namor?
It would be like us attacking Mars. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's almost exactly like us attacking Mars.
But I wonder how big the story is going to be next issue because they do still put the legacy numbering on this. This is $6.99, so next issue is $700.
Well, okay. I mean that's a possibility.
I just wonder how crazy they're going to go with the whole Namor thing. Is because it is going to be the 700th issue, and they like the.
Well, I mean, obviously that's our big arc. I mean, that's our small bad because this is clearly not the boss battle. In fact, part of me also wonders because he says that Atlantis got destroyed this time because of all the the not Sentinels, the Celestials falling on everything. But of course, these were diseased Celestials. So is he infected with a Celestial disease?
Ooh,
yeah.
No, there was.
No, you say your thing.
Oh, they have a blurb for the next issue because it's 700. But they mentioned Defenders of the Deep, the reimagined Russian super soldiers of the Winter Guard. So the Russians are getting in on this.
Oh, sweet! Yeah,
I thought you'd be interested in this. Plus, Wasp in action as an agent of Wakanda.
Okay,
so
I can buy that.
Wasp working for Wakanda.
Everyone wants to work for Wakanda. They got great health benefits.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, honestly, no. It's, you know what? Hey, you can say what you will about feudalism, but if you're a really generous, benevolent king, it actually works. It's like anything. If you actually have
Namor.
Prince T'Challa ruling your country, it's actually not bad. It's only when it's only when you're ruled by Namor, who, let's face it, thinks with his lower brain. He does.
Just ask Sue.
Oh, yeah, man. Second Sue gets back, it's going to be, let's go invade the Baxter Building since we're here.
Oh, is that going to be the big thing, too? Is he going to be like, why he's all evil? Oh, Sue Richards is dead. Or is that going to break him out of whatever evil spell he's under if he sees Sue? Oh.
God only knows. That man is a mess. I think we can he is a mess. You know why there's never been a Namor movie? Because the man's a mess. The man is just really a mess as a character. It's like, I'm a hero, I'm a villain. And it's not like that's like, it's like when they first created him, he was like, well, I will fight the Nazis, but, well, why shouldn't I just fight everybody? I am the king of the oceans. Look at me, I don't wear a shirt. It's like, well, I admire his battle against the tyranny of pants. It is kind of, I don't know. It doesn't impress me much. Although, hey, not for nothing, I did like the reference to the Atlanteans in the Domino book. So I do wonder if that's going to actually be truth about Atlanteans, or if it was just that they were seeing that. Yeah,
I don't know. I wonder. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that that they were mistaking them for Atlanteans. Because the Atlanteans are blue, not pale, but, I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe that evil that's infecting Namor is affecting them. But no, what I was saying, like, the whole thing about the kids crawling onto land, it's like, how bad is your kingdom that you let it come to this. Here's the thing, like Namor. The world would love to send aid to Atlantis because we see this. You got like 3 starving kids. You got like people coming in submarines to come give you aid. We do love to send aid to people, and I gotta feel, and not for nothing, Namor has like superpowered friends. It's not like he couldn't call up Captain America and Iron Man and say, "Hey, come and help my people out. We really need your help. We really need to build this alliance."
He's too proud.
And where has it gotten him?
I know, but
where has it gotten him? That's the thing. It's not for nothing. There's a reason why lots of Namor stories deal with the fact that Atlanteans hate his guts.
Well, maybe that's the point of the story. Maybe at the end he gets outed as king. Or ousted.
Well, you know what? I think he already is. In fact, part of me wonders if the people they're going to be battling aren't other Atlanteans.
Could be.
Atlanteans sick of his, I'm the king. It's like, no, you're the king of filth. You're the king of ruin. It's like we are forming a constitutional democracy, Mr. Namor. And hate to tell you this, you weren't born here. You got no citizenship rights. You were born on land. Get back to the country you were born in. We're going to build a wall.
Oh, no.
And keep foreign interlopers like you, Namor, from ruining our country. Atlantis for the Atlanteans. That's what I'm saying.
Make Atlantis great again.
Make Atlantis great again. That's what we need. And
it still works, Matt. MAGA.
Yeah, exactly, man. But not for nothing, someone needs to make Atlantis great again. And it ain't going to be Namor. Namor is just repeating all the mistakes of the past. So... yeah, Namor's a mess. He's a hot mess. He's a hot mess in the Speedo.
You're gonna catch him with porn stars.
Yeah. Actually, no, he's not. He's in his black leather outfit now, isn't he? From like the 80s with the wings.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah. He's wearing pants. See, that's how you know he's evil. He's wearing
pants.
Something's wrong with you, Namor. You are wearing pants. Nothing good ever happens when you wear pants. Anyway, yeah. So that's Namor. In other news,
we mentioned Hulk. What about that Avengers fight?
Yeah, well, I loved it. I loved his fighting with Jen. I mean. I loved that he had to sucker punch her to knock her away.
But then he's like, "Oh, we're not so different now, are we, Hulk?"
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah,
because he's being Devil Hulk and he's whispering in her ear and she don't like that nut.
But I mean, with something as dangerous as the Hulk, I mean, the Avengers do defeat him. Spoilers, but it's like then they just hand him over.
Well, they hand him over to Ross, and because they have to.
Yeah, I guess.
And that ties a bit into Captain America. It's interesting how all these books are tying together.
Yes.
Yeah. And I do want to talk Captain America because I'm wondering if they're going to de-age Sharon, who is 42. She is 42.
She has all the wrinkles to prove it.
No, I mean, really, it's like. She was at most 30 years old when she goes into Dimension Z. She is in Dimension Z for 12 years. Exactly.
I bet she probably wasn't even 30. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's 40. Like, no, unless you're going to say, no, she was actually like in her late 40s at that point.
She's an old crone of 35.
Yeah, well, still, 47 isn't that old. It's
I know. I mean,
they're not even drawing her like she's 50. Like, maybe like a poorly well-maintained 50. Maybe well, that's because she's a rough living lady. It's like, okay, I'll buy that for $1. Yeah.
And again, I mean, even if she was older, I mean, isn't she like an in shape super agent and? Yeah,
well, exactly. They're
healthy living.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's drinking wheatgrass every morning for breakfast. Come on.
Yeah, not for nothing. Well, I mean, I don't know what she ate in Dimension Z. So they could all say, hey, Dimension Z ate.
Oh, true. She's eating all those other dimensional bugs and stuff. Yeah.
So maybe that's their argument. Like, no, man, it's hard weather in Dimension Z.
Rough living.
But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't like it. But I get the feeling that this is how they're going to de-age her. Because I think they're sick of drawing the Agatha Harkness face on her.
Oh yeah, the whole Celine thing. Yeah, maybe if she tries to take life force, she gives her extra life. She gets like extra life force back or something.
Shuts it back in because it's like, oh no, I got that crazy shield side training now, man. You know, folks got in my brain once, never again. That's why they mentioned Lucan.
Oh yeah,
the
daughter of Lucan. Yes.
Yeah. See, like, oh, you turned her into a set. Like, yeah. You think I'm ever gonna let anyone in my brain again like that? No, man. You think I haven't been training my brain in Dimension Z against Zola's crazy tech for like 100 years now?
And Trish should be like, "Don't blame me. The Red Skull was in your dad's head, doing, making him do messed up stuff. Not that he wasn't before, but the Red Skull was pushing him to do even more crap."
Well, yeah. Honestly, Lucan was just an oligarch. See, that was back when these guys just wanted the money, and they realized political power was a sucker's game. Because you start running things and people want you to actually do stuff, and that always ends poorly. That's what gets you in a guillotine, man. Mm-hmm. Just being a rich dude, no one puts you in a guillotine for being a rich dude. It's like the worst they're gonna do is you're gonna have to hide more of your money, like in a separate place. It's like, oh no, you want more of my money? Well, good thing I only made so much money this year. It's like, well, where's all that other money? Oh, I lost it all on a bad investment in the Cayman Islands.
Well, this is why Ta-Nehisi Coates is such a good writer, because it's like he gives you stuff to think about stuff going on in the book right now, think about stuff that happened years ago, and then you just get a straight up fight between Cap and Taskmaster.
Oh yeah. Although, man, I gotta say, Cap, you're getting hit by a poison arrow, dude. Really, Cap. Is this like your third rodeo, Cap? I know it's like your first.
He's getting old like his woman.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe he's tired of fighting, man. Maybe he's just getting tired of fighting. What I'll say is, I love this book. It was just fantastic. And yeah, Ta-Nehisi Coates, this guy's a good writer, man. I think he could go places.
Well, it gives you a good mix, because some writers give you just like, all dialogue, no action, Bendis, and where like other ones just give you action with like mediocre story. Ta-Nehisi Coates gives you a nice mix of, a good mix of both.
He is an old school comic book nerd, and people forget that about him. He's been a nerd for a long time. He was a nerd before he was cool, man. He was one of us, I tell you. At least he said so in an interview. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I do think that they are going to de-age, because I don't think they're going to kill Sharon. That's the thing. I don't think, especially not since she's in the movies. I think they gotta.
Yeah.
I think they gotta really. You can't light that girl on fire no more.
Well, especially since Peggy's gone now too. You got to keep Sharon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the one thing I was thinking. Are they going to like Peggy-ize her? Make her an old lady? But it's like, no, I don't think so. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get like really old lady Sharon in the next book before they like reverse the process to save her, or give her some freaking super soldier serum or something. Something. I don't know. Hey, shout her off with something. Give her some Vita-Rays, man. Oh, what gives Vita-Rays, man? Why did no one ever think to make a Vita-Ray bomb?
And make your enemies stronger?
Well, make you stronger, man. I mean, that's just I'm just saying.
People make them stronger. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's like, oh man, Vita-Rays. It's like
but the Vita-Rays didn't do much unless you had the serum too, right?
Well, the Vita-Rays are a catalyst. Actually, the Vita-Rays are supposed to be a limiting catalyst. Essentially, the Vita-Rays are what stops the
serum from killing you.
Well, from driving you crazy and giving you extra strength. Because basically, if you just had the super soldier serum, according to the theory, is you would just keep on getting stronger and stronger and more aggressive and more aggressive. It's like an alien symbiote or something. But but it's weird because they're called Vita-Rays, which implies that they give life.
Yeah.
So exactly why I would love to see someone really, really dig deep into Vita-Rays. It's a made-up thing, but I think made-up science is often the best science. Like my entire theory of the crystalline structure within Kryptonian cells that give them their strength, and why that basically the reason why kryptonite hurts them is because it emits a half frequency difference from what the natural resonance of Kryptonians are, and so it like flattens out their wavelength. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. No, but Vita-Rays, man, get your brand new Vita-Rays, only from Stark Tech. I'll never forgive them for like making just Tony Stark some rando. It don't make no sense. It makes no sense. It's like, couldn't they just have a time traveling Nathan? You know what? They could have like totally did the Venture Brothers story before the Ventures did it. Even though they, if they had actually had Nathaniel be Tony Stark's actual father, because they had already established Tony and Howard as agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. together. And
I just wonder, though, if they didn't want to make Tony and Reed brothers, or half-brothers, whatever.
Ooh, although you know what's crazy? So Marvel has all the Fox stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel has Fantastic Four.
Yes.
And Marvel's launching its own series. What if before we get Fantastic Four, we get another season of Peggy Carter, where Howard introduces his new friend, Nathaniel Richards, from Central City. And we see that he's kind of plays all smart, but you realize that he's actually way more of a playboy than Howard ever was.
Oh, nice.
And I tell you, because Nathaniel, being Howard Stark's actual father, because maybe Howard was from too many Vita-Ray experiments, is not quite as Vita as he used to be when it came to...
Unable to charge the armor up to 100%. Okay.
Well, it's just, maybe... Look, the armor may work perfectly, but maybe his repulsors aren't hitting the targets.
Prematurely activate. Okay.
Well, it doesn't even have to be... Philip, you don't have to link infertility with impotence, okay? You could be fully infertile, yet also fully functional.
Okay. Well, I wasn't getting it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say the man doesn't get around, the man doesn't fully enjoy his body and others as well in a consensual basis.
The repulsors work, but they're shooting blanks. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're not as repulsive as you would like them to be. Anyway, but yeah, I just think that it was such a perfect setup. And yeah, now Tony and Reed are brothers. That's crazy, but it makes kind of sense. Especially, and what I would love best about it is it still makes Maria his mom.
True. And then, can you think of the competition where, like, Tony Stark's so brilliant. Tony Stark's so brilliant, but it's like, yeah, but your brother's the smartest guy in the world, or, little bit above you.
Well, to be fair, Reed doesn't play smartest man. Everyone calls Reed the smartest man in the world. I don't know if Reed has ever actually said, I'm the smartest man in the freaking world.
I don't know if he's the smartest, but he's the most, I think, well-rounded generally.
Well,
Tony focuses on tech, and, you have, like, the Hank McCoys and Hank Pyms who are, like, more bio, and Bruce Banner's, like, radiation expert. Reed basically has, like, a knowledge of, like, all of it.
Well, yeah, because Reed is Reed Richards.
Yeah.
And Reed is basically Sherlock Holmes if he could, like, maintain a relationship with someone other than Watson. Yeah.
Elementary, my dear Benjamin.
Yes, well, I don't just mean, but I meant with Sue, actually. But,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Although, the shippers are out there.
Did you... I don't think there was in this issue of Infinity Wars, but did you hear? I was listening to a podcast. I guess the Fantastic Four is going to get combined in Infinity Warps.
Oh, as the Terrific Two?
I don't know what the name is, but it's Mr. Invisible.
Okay.
And the Torch and the Thing. What do you think? What do you think their name is?
Hot Rocks.
Yes, I believe that's it.
That's just sad.
I think it's something like that.
See, I would have thought Ben and Reed would have been merged, and then Sue and Johnny would have been merged, and that would have made more sense. Yeah. And then so you have the Invisible Flame and the Elastic Rock. I don't know.
You know,
but
the whole Ben and Johnny thing, sometimes they pick on each other, sometimes they're like good friends, so it's like, hey, I was in your head.
I can see why they did it. I just think that now you don't have the love story. And I do think that the love story, you just have two guys.
Yeah.
Although, hey, who knows, in this day and age, maybe you still have the love story.
You never know.
You never know. Hey, I would love it. If that's what the Terrific 2 is, Mr. Invisible and Hot Rocks, just... Although, man, if they're brothers, then it just stop it, okay?
Yeah,
maybe that's it.
I was going to say, you really can't do it now because Sue's in one body, Johnny's in the other, so...
But that could be why they're brothers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because they're both Storms.
Yeah.
And then they went to space.
But I was going to say, there's no romance, though.
Well, yeah, no, but then they're brothers.
Yeah, but they're brothers,
and no, but as Lilith was, apparently everybody in the Archie comics is into incest now. I don't know. They've all gone ultimates over at Archie. I don't know, man. I'm like, what?
Trying to boost their sales.
And Marvel did it first, so going all dangerous liaisons on us. But yeah, so I mean, it's theoretically possible. I hope they don't. I hope they pick one or the other. Either they're a couple, which is fine, or they're brothers, which is also fine. Don't make them brothers who are also a sexually engaged couple, because that would be wrong.
That's right. But you know what was right this week? Spider-Geddon number 1.
Oh, Spider-Geddon number 1. So we have the Octavia. Is this our first time we're meeting Octavia?
I didn't read it, but they had I think it was 4-issue miniseries, Edge of Spider-Verse. That was kind of like a prequel thing to this. So I don't know if they introduced her there, maybe.
Okay, but she's like the Dr. Octopus who's good because she's a girl.
But yeah, I mean, if she appeared, it might have been one time right before this. So yeah, she's pretty new. So
I hope they don't kill her. I'm really worried they're going to kill her. Don't kill that girl. They killed Captain Britain. That's fine. No one liked him anyway. His world is dead, as they made a point of earlier. Yeah, and they did the whole looping, and Otto should have seen that. Otto should know.
But we did get the one scene I was complaining about. Remember we were talking Superior Octopus number 1? He met one of those big names on his list, Count Nefaria.
Oh yeah, and he totally says, "Dude, I don't play."
He was like, "I will murder your family in their beds.
I will murder your freaking family." Yeah, it's like it's like no, you're used to dealing with superheroes.
You went all Godfather on him. He's like,
yeah, well, it's. Not for nothing. It's like this is how you deal with a guy like that. You say, and not for nothing. I don't know if Otto would have really killed them per se.
I know,
but that's the point of the. I mean, here's the thing: you make a bluff, and you have to be willing to go through with the bluff. But you have to know what your bluff is going to be.
But I just love how he's like, I'm a hero now. But he's like, I will murder your families in their beds if you mess with me, Nefaria.
And not for nothing, these are Nefarias. Okay, you ever watch The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Yeah, Meadow, she wasn't a nice person.
Yeah.
And neither was whatever his name was, the son. No one remembers the son's name. Tony Jr., I think.
Yeah, but do you think the son's evil? Because, I mean, they showed he's like a school-age kid. He's sitting there in school.
You ever meet a school-age kid, Phil?
I know, yes, I know.
Okay, yeah, trust me. Let me tell you this. He is a kid who got everything he ever wanted right when he wanted.
Okay.
Wastrel.
The kid might be a jerk, but I don't think he's killed anybody yet.
Yet?
Yeah, I know, yet.
Is exactly what Otto would say. It's like, yeah, I killed him, and yeah, you know what? He is Count Nefaria's son, or grandson, or something. I don't know. Who knows in these timelines? And, yes, Count Nefaria's immortal, but he may get bored someday and say, hey, why don't you take over being the head of the Empire for a little while I go retire to one of my islands for a century or two?
Well, Nefaria is not going to do that. I mean, at least not yet, because supposedly his powers make him, I think, immortal.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. He may be immortal. I'm sorry, I don't know where my microphone is anymore, so I have to lean in. That's why I'm so close to the speaker today, folks. Is my mic was fine. It was the headphones that were going nutty. So, yes, but anyway, so the idea is, yeah, his son would have eventually become the gangster his father wanted him to be, or his grandfather wanted him to be, because that's how these things work, So, and whether it's Nana, not for nothing, their family's name is Nefaria. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's like Von Doom or Nefaria.
Exactly. It's like you don't get these names in the comic book universe. This is a universe in where someone named Octavius became an octopus.
Yes.
But here's what is interesting. The most interesting thing is, and it's one of these subtle things in Spider-Geddon that people obviously miss because they're not smart like me. They don't got good brain. Otto isn't a totem.
Oh yeah, because one of the Inheritors spoiler grabs him and is like, no, you're not food.
But think about this for a minute, okay?
But he's rocking a clone body too.
He's rocking a clone body of a spider totem. He can't.
But half, but half though. It's not full spider because isn't there some Octavius DNA in there too?
Well, yeah, but are you gonna say he's not an octopus totem? That's the thing. It's not like he said, "Oh, he is," or like, "Oh, his spider totem is weak," or he's not really a spider, or he's, basically, he's saying Otto's not a totem, which is possible. I don't know how this freaking totem thing works, because it's like, oh, all of your villains are totems. It's like, well, apparently they're not, because apparently Otto's not a totem. But here's the thing: it means that Otto is someone they can't devour, which means he's useful. Him and Octavia are useful in battling them because they're people who can't have their life essence stolen by them. Again, like I said, also, they weren't brought back by Inheritor technology. They were brought back by a hodgepodge of Inheritor technology that they piggybacked on, but that also has Warren cloning and Otto's own twist on the Matrix. Meaning that all of these things put vulnerabilities in these characters that they don't even realize they have yet. And as soon as you start seeing, and watch for this, because you're going to start seeing those little cracks on their foreheads. It's like, what's this about? Because they're going to have some Warren degeneration going on because they were using auto clone slugs, and they're going to be rejecting the Inheritor overwrite. Same way that Peter Parker rejected the auto overwrite in the original storyline. You watch, man. The Inheritors are going to undo themselves because guess what? They're not killing all the spiders in the universe. And although, man, Spider-Man Noir getting off so fast. That's another thing. Like again with Stingray, you off Spider-Man Noir right at the start. I mean, I know the noir universe wasn't big, but it was sure big among people that liked well-drawn superheroes. And
that surprised me too. It's like, isn't Spider Noir supposed to be like in that Into the Spider-Verse animated movie coming? Yeah.
No, he's super popular.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, unless some of this gets reversed later, I don't know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is there's an infinite number of Spider-Man.
Yeah, Noir. There's probably another Spider Noir somewhere. Yeah.
They can always get another one, and maybe that's what Otto's going to say. We lost one Spider-Man Noir. We lost one Spider-Brit. You have any idea how many superior Spider-Men there exists in the multiverse? I could build an entire army of Ottos, but we would squabble over which one of us was best. That would not be productive. In fact, he may make a point of that. He says, "You do realize I could have just gotten a million me's to fight them, but I realized that would be a mistake because we need the diversity of our cast." I mean, he wouldn't say it that way, but he would say we need different talents from different people. And honestly, it's probably easier to just go to the next universe because the universes are closer together to get all the different alternate universe, get all the Ottos who said no, basically, all Otto has to do is pick up 100 that die, 100 more universes with 100 more Ottos in it now. Not only that, but since you're all in this universe right now, there's 100 more of each of you. There's an infinite number of all of us all the time. Now, the downside is, obviously, there's also an infinite number of Inheritors, and you run into that problem when you start crossing these dimensional rifts. So, That's why you go to other universes. But at this point, we could get another Captain Britain if we needed, another Spider-Britain if we needed, or another Spider-Man Noir.
And I'm wondering what the catalyst is going to be, too, because, I mean, it's confirmed we're getting a Superior Spider-Man #1 again. So for some reason, some way, Otto, drops the Superior Octopus identity and goes back to Superior Spider-Man. So,
well, because he kind of had this realization that he effed up. Now, granted, he can blame other people, but he's being a better person. And he already said that, because he says, what have I done? He didn't say, what have you done? He didn't say, you are the ones that allowed this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though he could say, I would have realized that, yes, you can't be sending this cross-dimensional technology into the dimension of the things,
Mm-hmm.
Or you should have found a better way to do it. You should have used Spider-Bots, something small and tiny.
I just find it odd that he would go back to, basically Peter Parker's face, and I just thought he would have a suit, even if it had all the Superior Spider tech in it, but just be like, I'm Otto Octavius,
Well, no, but you know what? I think he wants to separate himself from Otto. I think maybe this is going to be the central idea, that he's going to realize, I'm not Otto Octavius. Otto Octavius died.
And
he's going to say, I'm Tolliver, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, is that going to be the whole? Is that going to be his whole spiel to Anna Marie too? Be like, no, that man you originally met, he's dead. Well,
what he's going to say is, well, he died. What he might actually say is, actually, the man you met was Peter Parker, but he had my memories in his brain, and eventually those memories reasserted themselves. Before making a copy of my memories, overlapped on his memories into another thing that went into the living brain, and basically it gets complex. But the short answer is, I'm not that guy anymore. Literally in every sense of it.
Long story short, I'm the pure version of the Otto I was always meant to be.
Well, there is that argument that had there not been a horrible accident,
yeah, exactly,
this is who Otto might have been. That if he had been a guy who was more athletic, he could have been the Steel Spider. And the
accident could have, the radiation from the accident could have, did stuff to his psyche. I mean, look at Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and not, well, like I said, that, Sam Raimi, for what he is a comic book fan of old school comics, and he knew that Otto was a nice guy. That was the idea, that Otto was supposed to be a nice guy before it all happened. And for what it's worth, in the previous Spider-Geddon one, was that Spider-Geddon #0? Yeah. Where Superior Spider-Man recruits video game Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he makes this point that, Otto was a really nice guy in this universe, but then the experiment went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends the little Spider-Bot to fix that Otto. And that I think is and I think that was important, and kind of a point to be made, that Otto is trying to be a better person, and he's trying to find a way to be better. And this is what I think is great about Otto, is that because he isn't a major villain, he's not the Green Goblin, and his villainy was always a little kind of, we're not quite sure where to put him to start with,
I just wonder if maybe the Superior Spider-Man book is going to be Anna Marie, tempering him. It's like, maybe they do get back together, and, it'll be her being, oh, no, hold on, Otto, don't be threatening the nice crime boss's family. That's not what heroes do.
No, because you know what? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Anna Marie is straight up ready to be a villain if she's one lab accident away. She's one lab accident away. Because I think, like Otto, she does not suffer fools gladly.
Yeah, but I don't think she'll ever go full Otto.
No, but at the same time, I certainly think she's the kind of person who would happily stick a knife in the Green Goblin's forehead. Who would say, "Oh no, you're way too gone." And honestly, Osborn, you weren't a nice guy before you became the Green Goblin.
True.
And if nothing else, that is one thing they have really, really emphasized over the years. He was not a nice guy to start with. And so, no, I think Anna Marie. Actually, you know what I really want to see? I want to see a Dark Defenders with Superior Spider-Man or Superior Tolliver, I don't know, whatever he's going to call himself.
Yeah.
Brought together by the Deadly Nighthawk.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want the Deadly Nighthawk in there, and I want her to sort of put together her own team of supervillain heroes, people who are trying to deal with the red on their ledger in their own way.
Well, did you see? There's an interesting concept. Did you see there's a new Winter Soldier book coming out in the next couple of months?
No, I did not. But okay.
Well, the whole concept, I guess, is like basically, Bucky going around and like trying to help. I guess it's villains, like I guess formerly bad people, help them reform, and like find like a better path.
Yeah, well, I mean, that could be. So maybe we're going to get our Deadly Nighthawk in that, or and maybe we'll get Otto in that.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, it's not like there's villains turning face is a fairly common thing in Marvel. Because generally speaking, Marvel has a lot of working class villains, and I think if nothing else, that's one thing you can say about the Night Shift, is that these are like the most working class villains in the world. Like so are we heroes now? It's like, who knows anymore? But the guy says he's paying us, so we're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I so want Digger to meet Gwenpool, just to hear them talking to the having fights over who's talking to the audience. Oh man, that would be so great! Just the Digger and Gwenpool just fighting.
Well, I mean,
talking to the audience, it would just be. Hey, this is my book. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. A lot of the villains are working class because a lot of them are just like, oh yeah, I robbed that bank. So, I needed money. I was unemployed.
Well, yeah. Well, not for nothing, and. I remember, I forget which book it was. I think it was She-Hulk's book, actually. When she meets with the Shocker. And she's like, you have all this technology. Why did you become a villain? And it's like, you think I'm the idiot? You have any idea how we villains look at you people? It's like, no, it's like, you think, you could do so much good. It's like, yeah, well, you could do so much bad. Why do you sit and do these other things? And, that was actually kind of cool because, it was like the Shocker having to shock his brain to remember stuff. It was crazy. I think in stuff, I don't think that's something that's carried on between writers, but it was neat when he did it. It was like, look, I have a hard time remembering. The shocks kind of hit me, and you know what? Sometimes if I hit myself in the face with it, it actually jogs the memories. That was one where they had a whole thing about not being able to remember this horrible thing that occurred to them all. That was a good one. The She-Hulk book is really good. All the She-Hulk books are always good. I never know why they are. Aside from the fact that I'm the only guy who buys them.
No, I know there's people who buy She-Hulk books.
I know.
I bought that last one, when it was just called Hulk, but yeah, I was buying that.
Yeah, it was a good book, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jen Walters is a great character, and
just ask John Byrne.
I just don't know why they. Well, I think maybe if there's anything that ever hurts She-Hulk, is that she's had so many reimaginings that that no one really knows what to get. No one knows what you're going to get when you pick up a She-Hulk book, and what that can be. It's like if you were a hardcore She-Hulk fan, like some people, that's actually the beauty of it. Like, who knows what we're going to get? It could be
savage
crazy comedy. It could be satire. It could be
savage She-Hulk. Yeah.
Savage She-Hulk, go back to the original, man. And that's sort of where we're at right now, is we're back to Savage She-Hulk, although now she's all muscular. Although I wish they wouldn't make her face so hulky.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be the kicker, is like physically if she still look like that, like.
Well, I mean, it all depends on what universe, it all depends on the artist, because you see in the Avengers book, she still looks like She-Hulk, but she's like Schwarzenegger.
But I was gonna say, not even as muscular, just like like the the attractive She-Hulk, but her mind was like that Hulk smash.
Yeah, well, that's what they do. That's what they do in the Avengers book.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, if she looked like Bruce, Thor wouldn't be kissing up on her. Now, I'm not saying that Thor isn't a broad-minded man. I'm just saying I don't think that's his type. I think if him and Bruce were going to get together, I think him and Bruce would have gotten together.
Whoa.
With Hercules,
Hercules.
I don't think that's an impediment.
Hercules will date anybody.
Hercules he'll date anybody twice.
just to make sure.
Just to make sure. It's like, oh, good old Hercules. Oh, there's a character that doesn't get enough play. There's a character who's had a great arc recently, and they just don't do more with him. Because Thor gets all the credit now. I want them to introduce Hercules to the MCU. Just to give someone to punch Liam Hemsworth in the face.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
So, did you say you wanted to talk more Wolverine The Long Night?
Well, I mean, I don't have much to say except for the fact that I do feel its audio is not conducive to podcasting, even though I do realize that part of that is that I have really lousy headphones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I do feel there's too much whispering for something you're going to listen to on the train.
Well, I think their biggest strength is also their biggest weakness, because you do get people whispering, and then it's like, was it this last episode? They're like, she's like, oh, I got a lousy cell phone signal, so you get like, you know, like you're supposed to get like cell phone interference and stuff, and it's like, wait, what?
Do people get cell phone interference, or does it just drop out? I don't know.
Well, they were in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know if the signal was the best. I don't know.
Although we can all agree now that it is the Wendigo we're fighting in this.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be my question. My first question to you was gonna be like, that's the Wendigo, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I was like, well, it's like in the last one they said, well, there's these drawings with these huge heads with humps on their backs. It's
and like, the kid and that kid's description was like, it wasn't a man, it was like a monster or something. You know, it was like bigger. It was like, what did he say? As tall as a basketball hoop or something? Or, yeah,
it's clearly Wendigo.
And it was because in the beginning they said claws because they wanted you to think Wolverine, but yeah.
Yeah, and then they made the mention about, it wasn't a bear because it has 32 teeth. That's how many a human has. But the bite size is too big. You know.
It's Wendigo.
Yeah, it's Wendigo. Or Wendigo, as they say. Which is like, okay, so he's going to fight the Wendigo.
So now the question is, who went cannibal? Okay.
Well, actually, my biggest question, because here's the thing. In the comics, the Wendigo is just the Wendigo. You don't, like, turn into the Wendigo, generally speaking. At least the last time I read a book with Wendigo in it.
Okay, I thought it was like a curse, and like, well, I thought...
Well, it's a curse, but I don't think it's like a werewolf curse. I think you're just always Wendigo.
Well, yeah, I thought once the curse hit, you were always the Wendigo, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm covering up my microphone. Sorry. You when the curse hits, you're always the Wendigo.
Yeah.
But, what I'm wondering is, are they sticking to that in this story? Because I do wonder if maybe the deputy is the Wendigo.
Oh yeah, further transformation.
Basically, the two likely characters to be the Wendigo are the younger son of, or I think it's the hunter son of the guy who's doing a poor man's Craven the Hunter.
The rich guy, yeah.
Yeah, of the Langrocks, you know.
Yeah, the Langrocks, yeah.
Because apparently they're a Stone Age family that has just been rich for that long.
Or I wonder if it's not even a transformation, or if somebody's like found the way to use the Wendigo to kill people.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that's what you're supposed. I think that's what you're supposed to be thinking from the cult.
Maybe. Yeah, but I don't think it's the cult. That's too easy of an answer.
Exactly. I think the cult is maybe. I think the cult is like like your classic Cthulhu cult, which is like, yes, we worship the thing that will devour us eventually.
Yeah, no, they're a red herring. I think it's the rich guy or something, or like you said, even a deputy or something.
I mean, but the thing is, there are humans because we're only seeing humans, and if it is a Wendigo, who is always a Wendigo, but we haven't heard about someone who went missing.
Mm-mm. Because they're talking about all those protests, you know, because the rich guy's buying up all the land and stuff. Is there a way like he's like using the Wendigo to kill off like the protesters, or? I mean, I guess that's a possibility. I mean, that's a possibility that if he can find a way to control the Wendigo by going to the evil place, the Perich, which I think is something from Alpha Flight. Yeah, maybe. I
think that's actually the spirit that was. Was that the spirit that was inhabiting Sasquatch?
Oh,
something like
Perich or Tanarak? I don't. Yeah,
Tanarak, I think it was, or something like that. But close enough for a podcast.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if that could be it. It could be something else, but it's an enjoyable podcast. But I always got to go back to the fact that. And apparently the Langrocks are smuggling drugs now, and that's why the lady blew up the logging truck and blinded that poor guy. Honestly, I'm not quite sure of any of it. I just, maybe I was a bigger Wolverine fan, but I don't know if being a bigger Wolverine fan would actually sell this show to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's not that much Wolverine in it.
Exactly. I kind of feel like maybe it's, like I said, I think they should have picked a different character. I think, honestly, I think they should have turned into the superhero skit on it. I think they're trying too hard to turn into the noir skit.
Yeah, I agree.
But if they were going to do that, they should have just done an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, or they should have just done a Department H series, or, actually, honestly, that would be kind of cool. You do a Department H series, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but set in the, Mutantiverse. And set in Canada, because, Canada.
Yeah, it's just like they're supposed to be their version of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but just them hunting down Wolverine, yeah.
Yeah, and that, clearly these guys are some kind of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, or Department H, I assume, because they said it in Alaska, not Nova Scotia, that it is, or the Yukon Territory or something. That they're supposed to be S.H.I.E.L.D. as opposed to Department.
Is this set in the past too? Because Wolverine, he said at least once or twice about running from the Weapon X? Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah. This is obviously before he meets Charles Xavier. This is, I'm guessing, like if you're going to put it in a comic book timeline, this is either just before he meets the Hudsons in the woods, or maybe after he leaves Alpha Flight before he meets the X-Men. If you want to have a formal timeline. But it's very much supposed to be a David Banner kind of story, where I think the Wolverine just exists all by himself in this. That there may be other things in this universe, but that, we're not dwelling on it. It's not contiguous with the Marvel timeline. Although when they do the Edge of the Wolverine verse, it'll be hard to get every Wolverine ever, because they're going to have to figure out how to have a guy just be a disembodied voice on a recording. Although I guess that might be the easiest one to draw into the comic books. I don't know, just some weird voicemail we got. Like, listen, Maureen.
Yeah, I just wonder how they could do that comic book, because I don't know, the pacing might have to pick up a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway. Anyway. But yeah, that's it's like this. It's free and it downloads every Wednesday.
Yes.
So I do listen to it on a regular basis. It's funny. It's like I was interested in it for a long time, but I wasn't. But because it's like this. If it was something that I was more interested in, I probably might have subscribed to Stitcher Premium. Mm-hmm. At least, I might have done something at some point so I could actually listen to a few. But because it was Wolverine, because there wasn't, and for what it's worth, there wasn't like a big fan interest in this. That's what I found most interesting. There wasn't like, here's the secrets of Wolverine the Long Night on CBR.
And even once it even released, I really didn't see or hear anybody saying, "Oh yeah, you should listen to this."
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, or even that, "Oh, this is awful." It seemed to be honestly just like the lukewarm milk of the comic book industrial complex. It's like something that's out there, but nobody seems to really be that overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, they really didn't say much of anything. I would have been mad if I would have subscribed to that, and now they're giving it out for free.
Well, that's it's like I say with Titans. That's not going to stay behind a paywall forever. Because not for nothing, that's like the only thing they got to get you interested in this service.
Yeah, but for now, but yeah, do you think? The whole Star Trek thing, that's still behind the paywall.
No, yeah, but it's also Star Trek and no one cares.
At Charlie Esser.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to tell you about Star Trek. The further you get from Kirk, Spock, and Bones, the less people care.
What about Next Generation, my friend?
And that is one step away from Kirk, Spock, and Bones, isn't it? In fact, both Kirk, Spock, and Bones all showed up on that show.
No, Kirk didn't show up on the show. He showed up in the movie.
Well, he showed up in the movie, though. He eventually got there. That was my point. That basically it was only one step away, and then each subsequent step after that got less and less popular.
Yeah.
Not because they weren't good shows or bad shows, but they became less and less popular because the thing that people were attracted to, which is why, as much as I love the idea of The Mandalorian, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be another Solo thing where it's like it's a really good film, but because it's not part of the nerdiverse of the little Game of Thrones of the Skywalker family, people aren't that interested. And I don't know why it is that people. But I think when you have something that starts with a limited nerdery, so like when we talk about like Marvel or DC, it's a nerdery, but it's an expansive nerdery. To where if you're a Marvel fan, you have to specify if you're a mutant or superhero fan, because those are two very different fandoms. But we are comrades. We are brothers in arms. If you're a mutant fan or a radiation fan, as it were. But when you get into a universe that starts so small as Star Trek or Star Wars, the further you get from the source material, the harder it is to maintain that fan base. Because your fan base, though rabid and maybe even expansive, just doesn't have the diversity that, say, comic books do. Because the fact of the matter is like you may have started with Superman, but you had Batman right after that, and Wonder Woman's right there, and you get these very different characters from different walks of life, all doing very different things in very different genres. And when they cross over, people get, oh, hey, yeah, I know. I remember when Superman showed up in Batman. I remember when Wonder Woman showed up. I remember the Justice League, And whether you came to the Justice League or the Avengers because you were a Hulk fan or an Iron Man fan or a Superman fan or a Wonder Woman fan, you still came there because you wanted to see what your character was doing, and then you met everyone else. And when you're dealing with something that starts from that central point of a movie or a TV show, except for crossovers, you're not that interested. That's why as rabid of a Doctor Who fan base as the Doctor Who fan base is, every Doctor Who spinoff really kind of fizzles out. Because as much as everyone loved, Jack Harkness in Doctor Who, you give him his own series, everyone's like, oh, okay, And it's just as interesting, and just as crazy, or just as poor production values as an actual Doctor Who TV show, but people don't feel the same way. Whereas you can do the rather weak American Doctor Who from the late 90s that had one movie, and people clamor for it because it's Doctor Who, and that's the thing. Because if you're right in the center of the fan base follows. But if you get removed from it, you're going to fall apart, and that I think is the curse of The Mandalorian. I think it's going to be one of the best Star Wars films ever, and it's going to be completely rejected by the fan base. Because it's not going to be about how this relates to the Skywalkers. You
mean TV? Is that the TV show?
No, The Mandalorian's the new Star Wars movie.
Oh, okay. Because I thought they were saying, isn't there a series coming too?
Oh, maybe, unless I misread it. No, from what my understanding was, rather than doing a Boba Fett film, they're doing a film called The Mandalorian that I guess takes place after Boba Fett, so it's like a new someone new in the Mandalorian armor. Now, for what it's worth, in Star Wars Rebels, they have built up the Mandalorians and Mandalorian armor in the Rebels cartoon, and arguably maybe established why there's only one Mandalorian left, because apparently one of the rebels figured out a way, sort of as her scientific thesis, how to destroy Mandalorian armor. And that was why the Mandalorians were like the one threat to the Empire. And then once the Empire got their hands on how to destroy Mandalorian armor, then, Mandalorians weren't a threat anymore.
There, I did look it up. The Mandalorian is going to be a TV series.
Oh, it is going to be a TV series.
Yeah, because you know who's, I guess, at the You know who's in charge of this?
Who?
Jon Favreau.
Oh, yeah, I knew Jon Favreau was...
Yeah.
That made me think it was actually going to be a movie.
Yeah.
I guess that was my misunderstanding. But I'm cool with The Mandalorian, like I say. And maybe if the people who own Star Wars are lucky, The Mandalorian will start its own fan base. And
Maybe.
It's possible it could do it because, of course, let's not forget, Boba Fett is like the one character in Star Wars with 3 lines and the most rabid fan base of all. Just because he looked cool. He is the original Jason Mayonnaise. But he keeps his shirt on. And I'm not sure where it's going to go, but I know that this is basically the problem.
How long have we been going?
I have no idea, Phil. I just keep talking. I wait for you to. Okay, well I think we covered it all.
Oh yeah.
So this time I'll say it. I think we've covered it all tonight, Phil. Phil, you wind me up, and I can just keep going. Now we're on Star Wars. You know what? It's time to call it a night when we're on Star Wars. Okay, Philip, how can people find you if they'd like to talk to you or interview with you?
If you'd like to interact with me, especially do interviews with us, email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. I can find Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, with voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-Capes.
And for you Star Trek fans, remember, Philip is fully interactive.
Hello.
And so am I. And if you'd like to interact with me, write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our Maz and Paz and even Data once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Cloak and Dagger and Gotham. They're all coming back for one last hurrah, although hopefully maybe Cloak and Dagger might get 2 or 3 hurrahs after that. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! There you go. Thank you for connecting with us, ladies and gentlemen. Please super connect with us once again. Good night. Philip, I need, you know what I dislike about this method is there's not a timer as we're talking. I just have to watch the clock, know where I started, know where I ended.
Unless I just throw a timer on my phone or something, so you want to be like, time.
Well, the thing is, when I do like on Skype, it's like I can see how long we've been talking.
Hey,
how long it's recorded.
Hey, if we both have the time and it's good content, I don't care how long you go.
Okay, well that's fine, man. I can talk forever, Phil, and I do love talking to you because you're my buddy.
Back at ya.